crazy Corona times and the stress of the holidays, I thought I would like to just sit and talk about something inspiring. And so I want to introduce you to my friend and the founder of Stone Soup Kitchen, Cindy Lavin, who has been inspiring and encouraging me for years with her compassion and generosity. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Beth. I'm really happy to be here with you.
So, Cindy, can you please tell me, I kind of know, but other people may not, what exactly is Stone Soup Kitchen?
Well, it started out as just my kitchen. I called it that because some friends started asking me how they could help and how they could contribute to dinners that I was cooking, which I started cooking for the Apple Valley Baptist Church. Pastor Stephen Wells had been doing meals at his church for years, and rather than reinvent the wheel and do it someplace else, I looked into it and found that that he was willing to have me help them and do it there. So in order to just have something for my friends to be able to find online, I just named my personal kitchen Stone Soup Kitchen.
And what exactly does Stone Soup Kitchen do now? It started out, as you said, as a meal service at Apple Valley Baptist. Mm-hmm. But what are you now? What services do you provide now?
Well, what it evolved into was more of a community. We continue to do our Friday night potlucks, but we were adding things all the time. I had different people in the community coming to me and wanting to be a part of it, and in the whole spirit of the story of Stone Soup. If people know that story, the children's story, look it up, it's great.
It is.
Anyway, I started with a friend of mine who's a hairdresser, said she wanted to come in and do haircuts for people on Friday night. And then there was a doctor who came and did wellness visits, and we were looking into literacy and job training and substance abuse counseling, and it just became more and more of a community. We had more people involved, and that made me really happy because I found, through studying and just through personal experience, that the more of these kind of community connections somebody has, the less likely they are to be chronically homeless.
So the people that you service are people that aren't necessarily homeless. I know there's a word that you use. What is that you use for people that are in need of services, especially food?
Well, we tend to talk about a community that is food insecure.
Food insecure. And that means sometimes you have a choice to make, you pay your electric bill or you get groceries.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you have to choose the electric bill, and you are the person, or Stone Soup Kitchen is the place that provides the groceries.
Yes.
Is that your main function right now, providing food for people who are food insecure?
Yes. I mean, we don't really have any requirements for people to come to Stone Soup Kitchen. I like to have a real cross-section of the community coming for the reasons that I talked about before. But it primarily is aimed to help the food insecure, the marginalized, sometimes elderly people or people with disabilities that are not able to quite make ends meet. But even if they can, just if people need a place to be part of a community, that's what we've been building. Now, when COVID started, we had a pantry already, but it was an emergency food pantry only. Basically, we were only open 2 Saturdays a month, and those were the opposite Saturdays that Loaves and Fishes was open. But when COVID started, we felt that we really needed to be open every week, and we needed to start expanding what we were giving, not just emergency, but to try to give enough for a week. Because we were finding that there were some people, and a lot of them were members of the community we were already serving with the meals, that were not necessarily able to go to Loaves and Fishes. Either they didn't have transportation, they didn't have an address. If they were couch surfing and without a permanent address, they couldn't go. We have people, we are really uniquely situated, I believe, in Air.
I must say
right
that
where
this
we
is
are.
an amazing benefit of Stone Soup Kitchen in that if you don't have an address, if you don't have transportation,
No requirements.
there's no requirements.
No
if
income
you just
requirements.
need to get some food, and you don't
Yeah.
have to sign up for a month or a year. If you
No.
need food for 1 week, if you need food for
Yes.
2 weeks,
Yep.
you're here to provide enough food for a week. Is that what I heard you say?
I mean, we'll give more than that if we need to. If somebody is having real problems with transportation and can only get to us every once in a while, we'll do what we need to do for them. But the point is, in this particular neighborhood where we're located, there are a number of people who don't have transportation. And I've had people come here with their kids' red wagon. I've had people come here with those metal grocery shopping carts that, you know the type I mean.
Right, so they obviously walked here.
Yeah, they've walked here, and if we can, you know, we'll help them out, and if somebody's available, they'll run them home or whatever. But we don't generally do deliveries. We just don't have the staff to do that.
And what days can people come and get the food from you?
Okay, so the Friday night potluck is obviously Friday night. We serve from 5 to 5:30. Once COVID is under control and we are open back up for full capacity, we'll have probably 5 to 6 o'clock. We also are going to be having a substance abuse, just a counseling group, a support group. It's going to be before the meal. It's going to start at 4 o'clock and go from 4 to 5, and then from 5 o'clock to 5:30, we'll have the meal, and then later on we'll go from 5 to 6. But right now it's 5 to 5:30 for safety's sake.
And you provide a hot meal on Friday nights,
We have a
counseling
hot
at
potluck
4, and
meal.
a hot potluck meal at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then when can people come and get the
Oh,
food?
groceries. Yes. Okay. Well, groceries, we are open on Saturdays, every Saturday from 10 to noon. And again, like I said, no registration, no residency, no income, no questions basically other than how many people in your household and what's the ratio of adults to children, so we know how much and what to give. We have fresh food and we have bagged, shelf staples, pantry staples. And you don't have to come to pick up for yourself. If you're unable to and a friend can come get it for you, you're welcome to. I'd like to tell you a story.
I would love to hear a story.
Okay.
It's funny because I was just going to ask you about a story pertaining to the pantry, to the kitchen.
This just really melted my heart. There's a couple who live here in Air, and they came to get food for friends of theirs who live in Lowell, who are new to the country, have a new baby, and don't have transportation.
Wow.
So the couple that lives here can't go to a pantry in Lowell because they're not from that area, but we don't have any kind of restrictions like that. So they came here, we loaded them up, they took the food up to their friends in Lowell, and they've only had to come every couple of weeks because we're pretty generous about how much we give.
And so there's something you would never even think of, that here's someone from another country with a young family, doesn't know how to navigate, and their friends are coming to you to provide for them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's plenty of those stories.
There are, and I try to be very careful about not breaking confidences.
Yes.
And so I can't really talk about a lot of them. That's just one it's kind of a generic situation, but it was just something that really, really touched me. There have been so many things that have happened that have really touched me. But
so the other thing that I'm very inspired about is that it's very much a community effort. Where do you get your food from?
Well, where don't we get our food from? We've been so blessed. When we first started, basically me and a few other members of our church were just buying it all. And as as it grew and as things went on and more people wanted to contribute to it, we have contributions from all over the community, not just Air. I'm talking about, we're serving a lot of different towns, and the people that are contributing and donating are also from all these different towns: Harvard, Littleton, Westford, Groton, certainly Shirley and Devons.
So people are donating food from all these different communities.
Yes.
How do they find out about what you need?
Oh, online.
So do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, we have a Facebook page, and I'm hooked into the Air Community Facebook group and some of the other town groups.
And I know that
easy
the
to find.
local supermarket has been tremendous
They have been
in helping you a lot.
Absolutely amazing.
Shop and Save.
Yep. Air Shop and Save. I can't even say enough good about them. They have kept things for us when we haven't had a place to store them. They, instead of sending items back, which have come, like slightly dented cans and things like that, they could send them back. They could refuse the shipment and send it back and get credit, but instead they put it aside and give it to us.
That is unbelievable.
They also have allowed us to have a bin over there. One of the local families, Becky and Rick Jones, asked if they could put a bin, and that makes it really convenient, because if I'm not available at the church for drop-offs during a time when somebody wants to drop off, they can drop off there.
So you've told us when people could come and get food. When are the drop-offs? Now that you've mentioned that.
Okay, so Wednesdays from 10 to noon, Friday from 4 to 5:30. That's the busiest time, though, so that's like the least.
Okay.
Please try not to do it on Friday.
Okay.
And Saturdays from 9 until noon also.
So if
9 to
I'm doing
10.
my local grocery shopping, I check your website, pick up some extra stuff, and bring it over here on a Saturday morning.
Yep, just that easy. Or
and
if it's not convenient, throw it in the bin.
Throw it in the bin. I feel like you have started out from just serving hot meals over at Apple Valley and giving people who are in need food to this amazing outreach that, from what you're saying, includes counseling, haircuts, hot meals, food,
A craft group.
a craft group.
And we're working on literacy, and we're working on job training things, but we had to stop. We had to pull back a lot when COVID started.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had a lot of things almost ready to go, and it all came to a crashing halt.
Right.
But we're going to pick up where we left off as soon as we're able to. I'm very excited about.
I must say that I am very impressed with the growth of this ministry, of this service. And I'm wondering, do you have a vision for what you'd like to see added in the future? I know COVID has put a halt to some things.
Yeah.
So where do you see Stone Soup Kitchen in the future?
Well, I see us probably most likely going back, scaling back on the pantry aspect when we're able to. Not that we will ever have that go away completely, but I don't think that we'll have the need for it as much as we do right now. At least I pray that we don't have the need for it.
Would be nice.
But the Friday night potluck is the centerpiece of the entire thing. And so from that, everything that we do will somehow or other wrap around that.
Okay.
I think all those things that I listed are the things that I really want to see happening on a semi-regular basis. It won't necessarily be a specific week of each month that these things happen. They will ebb and flow as they're needed and as the local population needs. But I feel like everything that we have brought in and have offered has been really extremely well received by our guests.
Yes.
And I just look forward to continuing to build those relationships and continuing to have this be a community where everybody is involved. It's not transactional where we give you something and then we expect this of you. It's relational.
And this is the thing that has brought you to this, trying to build community for different types of people. For people who are lonely, people who are in need of just food, but people who can sit and eat together.
Exactly.
This-
We all do that. This is not a we serve you and you sit and eat. This is a we eat together.
You use the word relational. It's about building relations with one another. And I want to thank you for what you do. And also, I want to thank the community for all they've done for you.
Oh my goodness, I can't. There's so many businesses, there's so many individuals. There's absolutely no way that I could physically do everything that needs to be done to make this work. If it weren't for the number of people that have stepped up and that have taken on different responsibilities, it would have all come to a crashing halt. There's just no way that I get a lot of the credit. I'm a figurehead. That's really all. I'm a cheerleader and a
The
figurehead.
organizer of this amazing effort that involves so many people.
Yeah.
So is there anything that I didn't ask you or anything else you'd like to add to tell people before we close?
Yes. I love the stories that come out of this, and some of them are just so touching to me, but there's also a place for facts and figures and numbers. And one fact, figure, and number that I want to let everybody know about is that during the month of November, there were never less than 25% new people on a Saturday morning. And one week, the week before Thanksgiving, it was 75% new people who were first timers that I've never seen before. We had a banner week that week. We had a lot of people. And I was just amazed by how many who had never been there before. And when they first come, they're scared.
Right.
And they're humiliated. And it's really soul destroying. And our goal is just to make it as pleasant as it could possibly be under the circumstances for them, to not be hounding them about anything other than what they need, and trying to make sure that, especially if there's children in the family, that there's treats and things aside from canned beans, that there's some pastries and some things that are going to make.
And I love that you're not, hey, how many kids, not just how many kids, but you're asking how many kids and what do you like? And you're being very personal with people. I've seen it myself. And you never make anyone feel ashamed or bad. And it's sad that there's a banner week in November. And we pray and hope that we don't have to have any more banner weeks, that people will be able to find ways to get the food that they need and get the community that they need.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that these people can come to a place where they don't feel downtrodden or less, that they feel like, hey, I have some, I'm going to share it with you. And that's how you make people feel, and I appreciate that.
Well, that's what Stone Soup is all about. Everybody puts a little in the pot, and by the end of the day, you have an amazing stew, which you wouldn't have if you didn't have so much participation. One more quick story. Over at the bin at Shop and Save, one week when we took out all of the cans and we were putting them away, there was a tiny little Ziploc bag full of change. And I mean, I don't know who it was from, but my guess is it may have been from a child. And we know, well, just recently I posted about, people who follow us on Facebook know that the Air Community School did a food drive, which was a complete surprise to me.
Wow.
Martha Pierce, who runs the school, contacted all the parents of the kids and didn't let me know. It was a surprise, and brought over everything that they had. Kids are participating in this. Adults. businesses, like I said, it's a business in Boxborough that just sent us a wonderful check,
Wow.
which I really appreciate. And it was because he started following us online. I didn't know. And the town of Air as a whole, the Department of Economic Development, Economic and Community Development, Alan and Alicia made sure that we were part of the grant that the town of Air got
I had read
from
about
the
that.
state. And that limits what we could spend that on. There's certain things we can and other things we can't. But that grant got us through a really rough time where everybody was feeling tapped out.
Yeah.
And that's no slight on the community. That's just the way it is sometimes. You just you get tired, and we all are tired of this, that's for sure.
And I just want to say that in this time of stress and the unknown and just crazy busyness, that you and Stone Soup Kitchen have been a light in a dreary world. And if I could get up and shake your hand, I would. But because I can't do that, I'm just going to give you an elbow and say thank you so much. And thank you for being here, Cindy.
Thank you for having me.